President Sek, members of the United Nations Human Rights Council, on behalf of the partners of relief and development, I would like to thank you all for allowing me to speak with you at this time and date. The topic that I want to talk to you all about today is something that I'm sure that everyone in this room is painfully aware of, and that is the current plight against the Rohingya people in Myanmar. To this date, over 900,000 Rohingya are now considered in a refugee status. Over half of that number are children. Within Rohingya itself, over 100,000 ethnic Rohingya are now considered displaced, as they're chased from their homes and put in internment camps or detention facilities. To this date, over 700,000 Rohingya people have sought refuge and asylum in places such as Indonesia and Bangladesh, risking their lives so they may have the opportunity to live in an area where they don't have to worry about dying at the hands of a government that is supposed to be representing them. These people come to these refugee centers, and they come to these nations seeking help and security with stories of terror, oppression, and cruelty. They speak of stories of how many of them have been subjected to rape, forced labor, and slavery, murder, and torture at the hands of the military junta in Myanmar. Incidents like this have been going on since the 1980s, where the government at the time stripped the Rohingya of any type of citizenship within the borders of then Burma, now Myanmar. The United Nations Council, this council body here, has called what is going on in Myanmar a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. Where is the international response? Where are the people coming in to help in the suffering of these oppressed peoples? By comparison, in Bosnia in the early 1990s, the decision to intervene against the ethnic cleansing campaign was swift and decisive. In 1994, in Rwanda, the decision to intervene to stop the genocide occurring within that nation's borders was swift and decisive. As I've stated before, these atrocities have been going on since the 1980s, and yet the international community has collectively shrugged its shoulders as they continue to debate on how best to address this particular incident. We all know the strategic importance of Myanmar to China, and yet China does nothing to ensure that the military junta does or stops its ethnic cleansing campaign. The international community, their response is at best woefully inadequate and at worst shamefully dismissive. We have instituted economic sanctions against states such as Russia for invading Crimea. And yet, the cries of an oppressed people, which has been called the most oppressed minority on the planet, their cries go unheard. Where are the sanctions against Myanmar? Where is the military intervention against Myanmar? When are these people going to get the relief that they see all the other nations of the world get, and they have been crying for it? And yet the international community does nothing to address it. Ladies and gentlemen of this council, it is past time for something, anything, everything to happen to alleviate the suffering of the Rohingya people. It is past time for something to happen. This entire council has the ability to institute something. Where is the will to do it? When will this occur? Ladies and gentlemen, it is past time for something to have occurred. I thank you for your time.